History remembers those who explore its depths. Join us on The Ancient, where the mysteries of the past come alive. History is full of what-ifs. What if Carthage had crushed Rome? What if Kublai Khan had conquered the Pacific? These almost empires came so close to changing everything. Their rise was meteoric, their ambitions boundless, but their falls were catastrophic. They were empires of almosts, so close, yet so far. Empires rise and fall on ambition, timing, and vision. The difference between domination and collapse often hangs by a thread. Some miscalculated their enemies, others overreached their resources, but all left behind legacies that shaped the world in surprising ways. These stories aren't just about loss. They're about ambition, ingenuity, and the lessons we can learn from the almost rulers of the ancient world. From Carthage to the Ottomans, these empires came close to greatness. Let's uncover their stories and the lessons they left behind. Carthage began as a humble Phoenician colony, strategically located on the North African coast to command key Mediterranean trade routes. With its prime location, Carthage grew rapidly into a bustling hub of commerce, where exotic goods flowed from every corner of the known world. By the 5th century BCE, Carthage was no longer a colony. It had become a powerful city-state with ambitions to dominate the Mediterranean. Carthage ruled the waves with a fleet of merchant ships unlike any the ancient world had ever seen, their purple sails a symbol of power and wealth. Its merchant fleets carried Spanish silver, African ivory, and British tin to ports across the known world, cementing Carthage as a trade superpower. These trade routes brought immense wealth, but also jealousy and rivalry from other powers, most notably Rome. Carthage's circular harbour was an engineering masterpiece, designed to house over 200 warships while hiding them from potential invaders. Their advanced hydraulic systems could lift entire ships out of the water for repairs, a feat centuries ahead of its time. These innovations showcased Carthage's unmatched ability to combine technology with practicality, setting the standard for ancient naval engineering. Hannibal Barca, one of history's greatest military minds, was Carthage's answer to Rome's growing power. At just 25, Hannibal led an audacious campaign, crossing the Alps with an army and war elephants, a feat unmatched in ancient warfare. Hannibal's victories in Italy were legendary. At Cannae, he executed a maneuver so brilliant that it's still taught in military academies worldwide. Despite his successes, Hannibal lacked support from Carthage's Senate, leaving his campaigns underfunded and vulnerable to Roman counterattacks. Rome, learning from its defeats, turned the tide of war. By the end of the Second Punic War, Carthage's colonies in Spain were lost, cutting off its resources. In 149 BCE, Rome launched a final campaign to destroy Carthage, marking the start of the Third Punic War. Carthage fell after a brutal siege. The city burned, its population enslaved, and its land salted to ensure nothing would grow again. Yet Carthage's legacy endured. Its innovations in trade, naval engineering, and governance influenced Rome, shaping the foundation of the empire it once opposed. At its height, the Khwarazmian Dynasty controlled a vast empire stretching from the Caspian Sea to India, dominating the lucrative Silk Road. While Europe languished in its dark ages, the Khwarazmian cities were beacons of knowledge and culture, with libraries and marketplaces teeming with ideas and goods. The dynasty's wealth and power came from its control of trade, collecting tolls from caravans laden with silk, spices, and precious metals. In 1218, Genghis Khan, then a rising power in Mongolia, sent envoys bearing gifts of jade and gold to propose a trade alliance with the Khwarazmian Empire. Genghis Khan's message was clear. A partnership could link China to Persia in the greatest trade network the world had ever seen. But Sultan Ala ad-Din Muhammad, mistrusting the Mongols, saw the envoys as spies. He made a decision that would doom his empire. He ordered the ambassadors executed, a calculated insult that enraged Genghis Khan and triggered one of the most devastating invasions in history. Genghis Khan's response was swift and brutal. He vowed to destroy the Khwarazmian Empire and erase it from history. The Mongols unleashed a campaign of total war, obliterating Khwarazmian cities, diverting rivers, and leaving behind deserts where oases once thrived. The fall of the Khwarazmian Empire marked the beginning of the Mongol Golden Age, as their trade networks expanded across Asia and Europe. But their contributions to science, medicine, and governance left a lasting mark, influencing the empires that followed. The Khwarazmian story is a reminder of how a single decision can change the course of history forever. In the 13th century, Kublai Khan ruled the largest contiguous empire the world had ever seen, stretching from China to Persia. Unlike his ancestors who conquered by land, Kublai dreamed of ruling the seas, transforming the Pacific into a Mongol highway of trade and power. The Yuan Dynasty's shipbuilders created vessels unlike anything the world had seen, massive ships with watertight compartments and magnetic compasses. Each ship was a marvel of engineering, capable of carrying grain for months, and trebuchets that could launch explosive bombs. These innovations gave the Yuan Navy a technological edge, positioning them to challenge any power in the Pacific. In 1274, Kublai Khan launched his first invasion of Japan, sending a fleet of 900 ships carrying over 30,000 soldiers. Despite their superior numbers and technology, the Mongols were met with fierce resistance from the samurai, who fought with unmatched courage and discipline. Nature dealt the final blow. A typhoon, later called the Divine Wind, destroyed much of Kublai's fleet, forcing a retreat. Undeterred, Kublai launched a second invasion in 1281, this time with an even larger fleet, but the result was the same: another catastrophic typhoon. The failed invasions drained the Yuan treasury and weakened the empire, but their naval innovations left a lasting legacy. Their shipbuilding techniques inspired later Chinese fleets and influenced maritime exploration for centuries to come. The Yuan dynasty may not have conquered the Pacific, but their ambition and ingenuity continue to inspire stories of what might have been. In the early 17th century, Sweden was a sparsely populated kingdom, overshadowed by larger European powers like France and Spain. But under the leadership of Gustavus Adolphus, Sweden transformed into a military superpower, dominating northern Europe. Gustavus Adolphus revolutionized warfare with the first modern standing army, equipped with lightweight muskets and mobile artillery. His infantry could fire 3 shots for every one of their opponents, while his artillery could be repositioned in minutes, a game changer on the battlefield. This combination of speed, discipline, and firepower made Sweden's army one of the most feared forces in Europe. The 30 Years' War was Sweden's moment of glory. Gustavus led a coalition of Protestant forces against the Catholic Habsburgs, reshaping Europe's balance of power. At the Battle of Breitenfeld in 1631, Gustavus proved his genius, delivering a crushing defeat to the Habsburg army and securing Sweden's place as a dominant power. For a moment, it seemed that Stockholm, not Vienna or Paris, would become the center of European power. But at the Battle of Lutzen in 1632, tragedy struck. Gustavus Adolphus was killed while leading a cavalry charge, a loss Sweden could not recover from. Without its brilliant leader, Sweden's ambitions faltered. Though still powerful, it could not sustain its dominance against larger European rivals. Sweden's military innovations influenced armies across Europe, laying the groundwork for modern warfare and changing how battles were fought. Though it never became a lasting superpower, Sweden's brief dominance reshaped Europe and left a legacy of innovation, ambition, and resilience. For centuries, the Ottoman Empire was a bridge between East and West, ruling from the gates of Vienna to the deserts of Arabia. By the 19th century, the empire faced mounting challenges: economic stagnation, rising nationalism, and pressure from European powers. In 1876, Sultan Abdul Hamid II ascended the throne with a bold vision to transform the Ottoman Empire into a modern industrial power. His ambitious projects included 30,000 kilometers of telegraph lines, connecting distant provinces to Istanbul in hours. Abdul Hamid's modernization extended to railroads, most notably the Baghdad Railway, linking Istanbul to the Persian Gulf. Abdul Hamid attempted to balance Islamic tradition with Western technology, positioning the Ottoman Empire as both a modern state and a cultural leader. This delicate balancing act extended to military reforms, with German advisors modernizing the Ottoman army's tactics and equipment. Abdul Hamid's reforms brought temporary stability, but they also exposed deep fractures within the empire's diverse population. In 1908, the Young Turk Revolution forced Abdul Hamid to accept constitutional limits, effectively curbing his modernization efforts. The Ottoman entry into World War I under German influence further strained the empire, leading to its eventual collapse. By 1923, the Ottoman Empire had dissolved, its territories divided among European powers, leaving behind a fragmented legacy. Though the empire fell, Abdul Hamid's modernization projects laid the foundation for many modern Middle Eastern states. The Ottoman story is a reminder that balancing tradition and progress is no easy task, but its lessons continue to resonate today.